Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kat and I make videos about books, writing and other random stuff living rent-free in my neurodivergent brain. Today I wanted to talk about designing your summer. This is an idea and concept that I got from Gretchen Rubin, who is an American author, and it's just what it sounds like, just this idea of planning your summer, making sure that you look ahead of your summer with some intention in mind to make the most of the season. Because we all know how it is, just like summer starts, we're very excited, but then in the blink of an eye, it's gone and we don't feel like we've made the most out of it. So I don't want to let summer slip away from me. And in order to design my summer, I've created my own little bingo board to keep me engaged and to remind me to make the most out of summer. It's a very personal one. I don't think it will work necessarily for other people, although if you want to attempt it, that would be super fun. But I think you're probably going to be better off designing your own bingo for yourself. Mine is a mix of activities I want to do as much as possible during the summer, as well as one-off things and books I want to read. So I think the whole idea, again, is to set an intention for your summer. And I think the main question you want to ask yourself in designing your summer is, what do you want to have done? How do you want to feel at the end of the summer? What would make you feel like you really enjoyed and made the most out of your summer? For me, it's about stepping up my game in terms of writing. I want to spend the season working as much as possible on my novel, but also doing other things around writing. So my bingo, I'm gonna scoot over so that I can include my bingo board here. But so my summer is themed around writing. And so I have several goals related to that on my board. The first one is that I want to reach 80,000 words on my manuscript because the word count has been stagnant for quite a while. I recently reached 60,000 words, which is exciting, but compared to where I was last year at the same time, it's nearly not as much as I would want to. So my goal is 80k words, and if I accomplish that, then I would feel that I didn't waste my summer. On top of that, I want to go on a writing retreat, which I have planned this month with a friend. I'm very excited about it. I also want to research some writing opportunities, so that can be writing grants that I can apply to, writing contests that I can submit my writing to, those kind of things. I want to write outside because it's summer. I want to enjoy the nice weather, so hopefully write in a beautiful location outside. I want to update my Notion page, my writing hub in Notion. I have this page where I try to gather my different projects, notes, research, all that kind of thing. But with time, it's turned into a little bit of a mess. So I want to reorganize that and make it nice and enjoyable and easy to work with. Then I want to find a new local writing spot because I always go to the same coffee shop and then to my library, and I want to switch my routine a little bit, also especially in the summer month because the library doesn't have AC and it gets really warm in there, and so for a few weeks already I have not been able to write there because just the warmth drains all of my energy and I can't focus. So I'm on the hunt for a new space in the city where I can write, so I can switch a little bit where I write and make it more fun for myself. Then I have something that I call Baby Steps Summer. It's something I'm doing with one of my writing groups. Last year I participated in 1000 words of summer. I have a video about it if you want to check it out. But this year, this felt like too much. The whole goal is to write 1000 words for 2 weeks in a row, so 1000 words a day. And I'm currently at a point in my manuscript where I'm more on an editing stage. So at least it didn't match or align in terms of timeline, and for some of my friends it also felt like it was not the right thing for them at this time. So we decided for something much simpler, much nicer, hence the baby step name. We just have to touch our manuscript every day for those 2 weeks, and that's it. So if we read one line, that's fine, that counts. The only goal is to touch it every day so that we keep the momentum going. And then the last thing related to writing on my bingo board is go to SWF, which stands for the Stockholm Writers Festival. I went already last year. I had a blast, a fantastic time. So I'm going again this year, and I'm going with some friends as well, which I'm very, very excited about. So it's gonna be a wonderful time. It's right at the end of summer, so it's gonna be a glorious way to conclude my summer of writing. Then on top of that, I have other summery activities. I want to get a massage. I haven't had one in over 2 years, even though it's something that I really enjoy, so I'm looking forward to that. Then I've put meditation, yoga, naps, and I later on added stretching as well. It's something I want to do more of the summer to get that feeling of relaxation. A lot of it I can also do outside, which would be nice. So that's something I'm doing for my health, my well-being, and to get that feeling of ease and relaxation in the summer. Another one was to take a trip to Naples with my mum, which I already did at the beginning of June, so there are some videos coming for that, but very excited to already have something that I crossed off my list. Then I want to enjoy my hammock chair. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know all about it. It's something I got last year and I love it. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a hammock chair in which I can take a nap, I can read and be outside, and it's so comfy and lovely. I love it. Then I want to go swimming. Most likely it's going to be to the pool, but if I get the chance to go in the ocean, that would be awesome as well. I love swimming and it wouldn't be summer if I didn't get into the water. Next, I want to visit my sister. She lives quite far away and I haven't been to her place in at least 2, if not 3 years. So I'm really looking forward to spending some quality time with her and her family and enjoy her beautiful region. And then I have summery plates on the terrace, and that's to encapsulate all the amazing food that summer brings. So melon, watermelon, peaches, apricots, all that good stuff. I love to make kind of big plates with lots of raw foods and have a lot of variety and color on my plates. So I think it's very summery, at least for me. It's something that I've been used to eating in summer when I was a kid. So I want to replicate that. And I also want to eat outside as much as possible, as much as the weather allows. Finally, the last part of that bingo is obviously related to reading, which is a big summer activity, at least for me. So I have several books I want to get to this summer, or at least those are the books that felt kind of appropriate for summer or had some reasons to be on my Summer TBR. Because I want my summer to be about writing, obviously I had to put some books related to writing on it. And it's been a while since I have read one of my many books about writing, so I really need to make a dent into that TBR. So on my list are Why We Write. This is a collection of essays by writers and it's edited by Meredith Maran, and they're all writing about the reason that compels them to write. So I think it's going to be quite interesting. I also have this book about side characters from Sacha Black. This is something I got at the Stockholm Writers Festival last year, where she was one of the speakers. She was fantastic, so I'm very excited to dive into this book. And at this time in my manuscript, I think it's also going to be interesting to learn a bit more and get some good tools about developing compelling side characters. Next, I need to read God Killer by Hannah Kaner, because I have a buddy read planned with my good friend Rochelle over at Good Morning Dreamer. We want to read the second book in the series together, and so I need to get to the first one first. She already read this, I haven't, but it's on my 25 for 2025 list, I think. Or maybe it's on my list for the diversity bingo from Helen. Anyway, it's on one of my reading challenges for this year, so I wanted to get to it. And I'm excited to read the rest of the series with Rochelle as well. Then I need to read Likabauen by Ildiko Fritz. It's a book published by one of my very good writing friends, and I'm very behind on my reading. I still haven't gotten to this, but it's perfect for summer, especially the summer solstice, because the story happens around midsummer, which is a big celebration in Sweden where this is set. So I'm hoping to get to this for the summer solstice to kind of read it in context. Then we have Pod by Laine Pohl, which is a literary fiction about a pod of dolphins. And that sounds very intriguing in itself to me. I would be excited to read it anyway, but I also already read The Bees by this author, which I really enjoyed. So I think this is going to be a good one. Rootbound by Alice Vincent is a memoir about kind of finding yourself back through caring for plants in a tumultuous time in the author's life. That sounds quite interesting. I think also the whole theme of plants seems appropriate to me for summer, so I'm looking forward to reading this. A Walk in the Wood by Bill Bryson. I don't know much about what it is about, but I've been wanting to read a book from Bill Bryson for a while. It's also one of the books I wanted to pick up for the Diversity Bingo Challenge by Ellen. That sounds again very summer appropriate. La Vie des Elfes by Muriel Barbery, which has been translated into English probably as The Life of Elves, I think. And I don't really know what it's about, but just the title sounds very summery. And I talked about this book in a previous video in reference to it being one of the oldest books on my TBR, because this is an arc and the book was supposed to be published in March 2015. So it's been over 10 years and I still haven't read it. So yeah, I think it's time. The Bird Cottage by Eva Meyer. This is a book about a woman who I think quits her job, leaves the city and settles into a little cottage in the countryside, and she starts watching the birds in her surroundings and becoming kind of a bird scientist. Anyway, it sounds interesting, it sounds summery, so it's also been on my TBR for quite a while. Then Playground by Richard Powers. This was a gift for my birthday from Maria Andrea over at Books and Bocadillos. Thank you so much, Maria Andrea. I'm so excited to pick this up. And I don't remember the details of the story. It seems quite intricate with quite a wide cast of characters, but I've read the overstory by this author, which was such an interesting book. And I think this is kind of the overstory, but for the ocean. So it sounds perfect and I definitely want to read this. So there you have it. Those are my plans for the summer. Let me know in the comments below, what is your intention for designing your summer? What are the things you are hoping to accomplish or to experience this summer? And as always, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.